pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thanks everyone for coming. This is a joint meeting between the Tell City Board of Public Works and the Perry County Commissioners to ratify the contract for dispatch services. Chris and I had talked, Chris Kale, Mayor, you know, we've been asked to make sure and introduce people and who they are by the people watching it on live stream.
I can do that.
I'm going to go ahead and go over the highlights of the main points of this contract that we worked out over the last few months. We had to get some answers from the state, and basically what the state answers is we could do what we wanted to do, and they do not approve contracts because it is a, Steve, what was that term again? Right, it's a home rule state. So it what the local people agree with, and the state doesn't step in and determine what the contracts are. So basically, one of the main points was that who is the PSAP? And with the dispatch center being at Tell City since 1960.
They've been doing some type of a dispatching services, I guess you could say.
Since 1968,
radio.
to whatever.
To summer
in the 60s.
There you go.
And then, but the county has always provided the 911, the E911 equipment and all the radio systems. So it's been a joint effort, and both sides being very important. So what we came up with, and it's fine with the state, is that the county and Tell City will be a joint PSAP. And that's perfectly legal. And with the county being a Vital Link communication system, I'm going to make sure I don't miss a point. Tell City will provide dispatch services. Tell City will have the primary PSAP location will be at 707 Mozart Street, which is Tell City Police Department. The employees, the dispatchers and employees will be employees of the city. The secondary PSAP will be at the Armory in Perry County. If the dispatch needs to go from 707 Main Street to the Armory, the goal is to have it where they just have to drive out there and there's no changes on what they do. They'll see the same screens they see at the Tell City Police Department, and it'll be the same people. You know, so all that, none of that is to change. Funding, the funding will be agreed upon in a joint workshop in June at the latest, both the City Council and the County Council, and they will come up with the yearly funding. So this contract will automatically renew every year unless either party gives the other one 6 months notice. Hopefully it'll be like our contract with the hospital to provide EMS. It's been going on and automatically renewed every year since 1986. So it's a concept that can be done, and then I hope that this continues on for many, many years like that. There will be an advisory committee made up of 7 people, 2 members appointed by the county commissioners, 2 members shall be appointed by the Tell City mayor, 1 member shall be appointed by Cannleton mayor, 1 member by the Troy Town Council. The 7th member will be the E911 director, EMA director, 911 director. The advisory committee shall be public safety employees of a public safety agency located in Perry County, Indiana, that routinely receives calls from the dispatch center and shall not be an elected official. So we get the people that actually are being dispatched, and hopefully keep some politics out of it. The terms of the advisory committee will be 2 years. The advisory committee shall hold a minimum of 1 meeting quarterly and may hold additional meetings advisory committee deems necessary. They're to give direction to and resolve disputes, review bids and contracts of equipment, purchases and maintenance for the provision of other necessary services provided, and provide recommendations to the city and county councils. They will present funding requests on behalf of the dispatch center, including but not limited to payments from other emergency providers for provisions of the dispatch services, which shall be deposited with the city clerk treasurer. Anything else? And they'll also establish and define levels of service to partnership agencies. 2, they will review the annual budget, make recommendations to both the city and the council. They won't have control over the budget, which we can't give them control over that, but they will be an advisory board to the city and county councils. Accounting, the Perry County Auditor will maintain records of all 911 funds received and distributed as required by the Indiana State Board of Accounts, and the Tell City Clerk Treasurer will keep accounting to all funds received by the city. And this was clarified by the Indiana State Board of Accounts, and Pam and I asked her about it the other day during our, and she basically said that the accounting from the county side, once the funds are given to the city, then that's satisfies the responsibility of the county, and then the city will be responsible for how those funds are spent once given to the city. I mean, it's pretty obvious stuff. I mean, that's basically it. All of the rest of it's just legal stuff. So I'll open up for discussion with.
Can I see your copy?
Yeah, sure. With your, is it the same as yours?
Well, it should be. I just want to make sure.
No, why it
Okay.
shouldn't be.
Well, no, that's, well, it is. There was just an L missing on.
Oh, there's
and
some
an S,
Tell City?
and there was.
There's 2 typos in
There was 2
the.
typos. There's an auditor got an S here off weird, like S will, whatever that.
Oh,
But
okay.
yours don't have that, but yours
Mine's
missing
been
that.
corrected.
Yours has been corrected, so you're good.
There also is still this, in that, there's still the typo of the double L, like
Yeah.
the city,
Yeah.
versus a single L, in Article 7.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, okay.
He's got those down here now.
Okay.
But I corrected it on. I put it-
That's not the end of the world, I promise.
No,
I'm
no,
just
that's
double checking it.
Throwing errors doesn't make it invalid, does it?
No.
No.
probably not.
Okay.
But we can correct it before we, I mean, we can approve to sign it and then sign the correct
Right.
one.
Clean copy.
Exactly.
I mean,
Right, I understand.
Article 2, it refers to something called reserved funds, but it never defines what reserved funds are.
that's the reserve funds in the 911.
So that's the 90-10 split and whatever else is in the.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Mhm.
I just, it never was defined in the contract, so I just want to make it clear, at least in this record.
Testy,
That refers to the reserve funds that would be left in the city budget, that's not the reserve number.
oh, it's not the reserve 911? Okay.
Do we need to put
Do
that
we
in
need to
there?
clarify
Yeah, I
that?
think so. It was in the,
That's any money not spent within the city's budget.
that was the definition that we had in July.
Okay.
So, that's mentioned in Article 2, Section 3, right, Greg?
Yes.
Yes.
So, should we put reserve funds, well, how are those designed? So how would you define that then? It's the funds left in the, remaining in the city's budget?
City budget?
After what?
I mean, I thought, after what? I mean, why would they have additional funds?
We wouldn't, it would all, pretty much, funds would all be used for the salaries, would more than eat up any funds given by the county.
Well, exactly.
Funds left over in the city account after city obligations are met.
Yeah, there you go. That's the way to write it.
I was trying to say that, he just took the word.
That's the way to write
Okay. Do we
All
need
those,
to,
all those years in school pay off in one big sentence.
Absolutely.
right,
Yeah, well, you write it down, because I didn't hear what you said.
You mean I have to remember what I said? You guys are recording this, right?
It's just,
They would be all funds left within the city, or all funds that the city retains after city obligations have been met.
it's just weird to use a
It should-
word and
it's-
not define it, right?
right,
I
it should,
agree.
it shouldn't be any though, should there?
I don't see how there would be.
Right.
I
mean, salaries alone would
highly
more
doubt
than
it.
eat up all that really
Yeah.
quick, and that's what it all really needs to go towards.
The salary should be budgeted though, so I mean, this would be more like if you had a line item for radios and you didn't use all radios, but now you needed something for a recorder.
That's right.
It's,
Yeah.
I mean, that happens in your city budget as well as the county budget. We have line items that aren't totally consumed,
Sure.
and we move them around. To me, I don't even know if it needs to be in there, period, but.
Well, that's
I don't
where
wanna-
I was
I
at.
don't want a word there and have it not defined, because you can see the discussion we're already having
Yeah.
around that, so we need to define what that means, so,
Okay.
however we define it.
I'd,
Well, it
I'd
makes-
use that description, and then if the funds get moved around, then obviously they won't exist as reserved funds.
Right.
I think Jeff's definition works, though, because the concept is, if you need something and there's money still in the budget that hasn't been otherwise used, you'll use that first, then whatever needs to be,
You pull from the
Paid
line
next will be-
or whatever.
will be worked out among the city and the county.
I don't, yeah, I
So
mean,
I think
once,
that works.
once the amount is agreed upon by the city council and the county councils, then why would it be the county council's concern how it's spent?
Correct.
Right.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying it should be, I'm just saying it's weird to have a
No.
word in there undefined.
I think that fixes it, though.
I think if we use the definition we were talking about, then it's defined.
It's defined
and
and
it
you go
doesn't
on.
change how the money would be used.
Yeah.
Correct.
And it still stays under the city council's control at that point, because it's
Correct.
their budget.
Exactly,
It's already budgeted, yes.
Yeah.
right. But if there's any additional funds being there, then there needs to be an agreement between the two fiscal bodies.
Which is what it
Which is
says.
in there,
That's
which
it.
is in
Yeah.
Article 2 later on.
Exactly,
yeah.
yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Good catch.
And then the only other one I have is in the second whereas, we define a backup PSAP,
Mm-hmm.
and Indiana code says that you can only have one PSAP. So is that really a
No.
secondary PSAP like you said, or is it a backup location, or, you know what I'm saying, that's.
Backup, what, well, the backup is what the contract says.
It should be a
doesn't say-
backup
It doesn't
dispatch.
say secondary.
It's a backup dispatch
You said
location.
secondary, I got confused. That's-
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
It says backup.
Backup.
It does
Yeah.
say back.
So is it still allowed, based on the
Yes.
code, that you can have it? Okay,
Yes.
Yes.
that's the key.
And we
there.
clarified that with 911,
There's
state
second-
911 coordinator.
Our secondary is Spencer County, is that correct? If
That's a
ours-
different,
Is that, I know it's a different topic, but just for
Redundancy,
clarity,
right?
our secondary is that until we could get to the backup center, basically, right? So, like, say you have a,
There's a backup to the 911 equipment, and then there's a backup to the dispatch center.
we're just talking about dispatch center. We're
Right.
not talking about 911 system.
okay.
Yep. Two different things.
And the only other one that I, and this is a discussion point, is the 6 months versus a year, being able to get out of the contract or terminating the contract. And the only reason I bring up a year is because if, let's say, the city, and I don't think this is gonna happen, don't think that I'm trying to be a bad guy up here, okay? I'm just saying, reality-wise, 20 years from now, let's say this contract's still in place, because it could be, it's in perpetuity, right? Is 6 months really enough for the county to take it over?
I do. I think so. And I've been involved in a lot of years. Steve, you've been involved in it. Is 6 months enough time?
Because I mean, just budget cycles a year, you know, just actually budgeting for it is,
But it won't start till the next year.
The 6 months is just a notice that you're not gonna renew.
6 months is notices, you're not gonna renew it at the end of the year.
so in
That's true, but you
June
can get it.
30th, I terminated, I'm gonna start January 1st.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
So you'll have your budget in October,
But July 1st,
and you'll all cry.
July 1st, it's too late to, July 1st, it's too late to
Correct.
terminate it.
Right.
After, if you send a notice after July 1st, then you're bumping a full year further out on the back end of it. before the
Right.
actual,
I'm with you.
change.
We're talking about 18 months notice, basically. Can be.
can be.
as much as 18, as little
As
as
much
6.
as 18, as little as
Right.
6.
Right.
But if it's gonna be 6, it's gonna have to be by the middle of the year, so that you don't ever leave yourself hamstrung on a termination that's short.
Way before budgets
My
are,
big thing was the budget. The budget
Yeah.
cycle would fit inside there, so.
Yeah, it's, the way it's structured now,
Right.
it always will fit, the budget cycle will always fit inside it.
yeah, there'll be plenty of notice for the budget cycle
Sorry, David.
on both.
Hope it never happens, right? I'm not nitpicking. I'm making sure it's covered.
Okay.
If I wanted to nitpick, I could really do it.
Oh, please, no.
I won't.
Good boy.
Board, do you have any questions?
Yes, I do.
All right.
Gerald Yeagley, Board of Works, Tell City. In reference to what he was saying about the budget, I believe under state statute that you can transfer funds within the accounts. So we have money left, say something would come up, you have money left in the police department, and it's transferable, you do it at the end of the year.
Sure.
To cover your costs.
Mhm.
So that's allowed, I believe, by state statute.
Mhm.
Certain
Correct.
thing. And I don't understand this appointment to the advisory committee, public safety employees, define that for me.
My intent with public safety being someone that dispatch, like a EMS, fire, police,
Dispatcher, even.
it could be dispatcher, yeah, public service.
Could it be a retired public safety employee?
It does say that it's,
It says active, doesn't it?
it said that, well, let's go back.
It doesn't, it just says shall be public safety employees of a public safety agency, which to me implies that they have to be active.
Yeah, it applies, it implies that.
Are you wanting retired to be a possibility?
Well, yes,
Okay,
yes.
I mean-
In my opinion, I mean, we have
Sure.
retired fire chiefs and police chiefs that have a lot of knowledge.
Oh, I'm not
And a lot of
disagreeing.
knowledge of how things work.
No, I'm not either, yeah, we just need to change it if that's.
do you
what
want
we
to add,
That's just a
Current
suggestion.
or retired, active or retired?
What do you
Yeah.
think, Mayor?
I agree. Yeah.
that'll do?
Yeah.
Active
fine
or
with
retired?
Active or
Yeah.
retired, just drop that in there after the word dispatch center, comma, active or retired, and shall not be an elected official.
Mhm.
That's a good spot.
Leave
to put it.
everything in there, just add or retired.
Right. I'm just
Okay.
looking for knowledge.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point.
Good point, Gerald.
Mhm.
John, do you have any questions so far?
No, sir.
Okay. Jeff, you've read over this.
I've been through this a few times, I don't have any questions about it.
And Connie, are you okay with the language as far as the accounting, and
Yes.
you've met with Pam, I think, and already
Pam and
talked?
I
Okay.
and Steve have discussed it, so yes.
Mhm. So you're good too, Pam, right?
Yes.
Since we're on that subject?
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Good.
all right. Randy?
I'm good. I think it's gonna be a good one for years to come, even once we're not sitting here. It explains everything down to the point,
Yep.
so we won't get into this situation again.
It says a lot of stuff that should have been said a long time ago. I mean,
Yeah, I think working together, we really got something that's gonna move
Well-
forward in a positive direction.
We always have, and like I said at the beginning, I think it'd be a shame if we didn't utilize the resources that we have available to us.
I agree.
Uh-huh. We just need to put it on paper.
We did.
Mhm.
We did.
So, I'll call for a roll call vote with.
You guys vote, and then we'll vote on our end, and we'll be good.
Okay, I'll need to entertain a motion.
Before we do vote, I want to say that I do work for Tell City Police Department, and I have done work for out of the annex and stuff too. I'm still going to vote, but I just wanted to make sure that people knew that. I want to be upfront that I have done work for both, and I probably will do work for them again, hopefully. So,
It's hard not to cross lines. in this
hard not to
county.
cross lines. I don't think I am by making this vote, but I just wanted to make that.
Because we're not voting on,
Nope.
Budgets.
No.
No.
But I just wanted to make that.
okay. So, I entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
Second.
Motion made and second. Vote by
With
roll call.
amendments.
Randy?
Aye.
Greg?
Aye.
Okay.
I assume that was with amendments.
With amendments, yes.
With amendment.
Okay. Board, I'll entertain a motion to approve this agreement.
Motion to approve.
Motion made by Jared, here a second.
Second.
Second by John. Any further discussion? Hearing none,
With the amendments.
with amendments.
With
Okay. Hearing none, we'll call for a roll vote. Gerald?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we're done. All right, thanks, everyone. It'll be, once it's all done, it'll be on.
With the corrections. Yep.
Yeah, it'll be a matter of public record, yes. Mhm.
Thank you all.